A night out, a crazy story. The story I'm about to tell you didn't happen to me or any of my friends. A stranger told me this one day while I was waiting for the streetcar to come. Anyways, this happened to me in the United States, just for you to know. I was in Portland that day. So I was coming back from work and I was waiting for the streetcar, a combination of a train and a bus. And then I saw a man and a woman who seemed to be arguing about something. However, when they got closer to me, I realized they were simply speaking. It was just their voice that sounded like arguing. One of them was from the United States. And even though the woman's English was awesome, I then realized that she was from Panama. But she had been living in the States for over 25 years. Actually, when she realized that I was from Costa Rica, she mentioned that living in Costa Rica or in Panama and living in the United States was like comparing apples to oranges. She then referred to food, medicine, and of course, infrastructure. Going back to the story, they were telling me how they ended up living in the streets. Yes, they were homeless. The woman was blaming the man and the man was blaming her. That was actually a very funny experience. I didn't want to take any side because I didn't know if they were violent or not. So I preferred to just play devil's advocate, to have them identify the real reasons why they ended up living in the streets. I only asked them tricky questions for them to try to analyze them and see their problem. Anyways, let's give my friends names. I think this way is gonna be easier. We're gonna call the woman Anna and we're gonna call the man Charlie. Okay, so Charlie was telling me that in 1995, he and Anna wanted to make a business with a man. They talked to him and the three decided to meet in a nightclub on a Saturday night. They went out to the club and started drinking. The men looked sketchy, so Charlie wasn't sure if they should continue with the business. Okay, so here's the catch. It was a drug business. The men offered Anna and Charlie to try his product, and so they did. After a couple of weeks selling and consuming the drug, they both developed an addiction. This was the man's plan all along. He got them hooked with his drug, and then he abused them and took all their money. Charlie then told me he should have judged that book by its cover, referring to the man, but that there was nothing to do at that moment. It was already too late. Anna said that even though they were addicted to the product they were selling and consuming, there was a point in which an organization offered them housing, food, healthcare, and a recovery program for free. However, she also mentioned that at that moment, they didn't think they needed help because they didn't feel too addicted to the drug. It's a shame because now it's harder to find help and to recover. After 30 minutes listening to their story, I learned that neither of them was accepting their responsibility in their situation. For them, the problem was the money, the drugs, the other men, but they never mentioned how they could have made better decisions. Charlie was a poor workman who blamed his tools. So, since 1998, they have been living in the streets. Everything because of a really bad decision. This is a very crazy story that I had the chance to listen to while waiting for the streetcar. I could have never imagined that I was going to have the chance to listen to such a curious experience.